All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to the RegiCast. I know you guys wanted to see Danielle. Sorry. Let's start with that. She's not showing her fucking face.
No.
I didn't even ask because I knew that.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah. So if you wanted to see how hot she was, jump the hell out.
No.
Just stop.
Well, the little garlic is pretty hot.
That's true. Don't judge me.
Nice
Okay?
little scrunchy.
Don't judge me. It's a little spicy on my end, but that's okay. All right. Welcome to the RegiCast. Okay. I'm your host, Reginald. Joining me is Danielle. Hi, Danielle.
Hello.
Hi. So let's just jump right into it. So Danielle, as you can see, is a pretty anonymous, cool person. I met her through the Facebook groups. So for that reason, the relevant information is going to be in the description. Okay. So, but don't try and Facebook stalk her. She's fake. This is not a real account. She's not a real onion. Okay. For all you censors out there. Okay. This is not what she actually looks like. All right.
How do you know?
Oh, see? She has an E. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with first impressions. Let's start with the tradition.
Okay.
And then we're going to start with all this cute OP shit. So what was your first impression?
Eh?
Of me? What the hell?
Of you?
Yeah.
I really I only really talked to you once before this, right?
No.
Yeah,
Really?
like properly.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I'd never really met you. I'd more heard things about you, like from other people. So I know. I actually just. Hey.
Was it spicy?
I don't know. I just remember thinking you were, firstly, very smart and attractive.
Oh, thank you.
That's about it.
Thank you. I think you're attractive too. You're the onion's pretty cute.
Thank you.
You know? Yeah. I appreciate that. So my first impression, and guys, feel free to judge me. Feel free to try and cancel me. I'm black though, so it's gonna be hard for you. So my first impression. Okay, that's all right. I need to really work on not doing that. So my actual first impression. So my whole thing, and maybe Danielle, you can help me understand this from your function perspective. I 100% project onto people. So it's like if someone has a hot voice, they just assume they're hot. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what's happening with you right now.
Okay.
Okay, it's like she has a very like soothing voice. Like, this is awesome. Okay, yeah. She's probably attractive. She's probably
no.
No?
No, not
this is like one of those. Okay, this is like one of those misleading situations.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm very average looking.
Got you. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not gonna play into this lie, but that's okay. You can feel free to lie to protect your identity. She's doing this to protect herself. She's asleep. Okay.
Oh God. I'm a realist. I'm not I don't have terrible self-esteem in that way. I just realistically, like on a spectrum, very average. Yeah. And that's okay. That's totally cool.
She's lying to you guys.
No.
It's okay. My job as the host is to call you out on your shit.
Okay, all right.
She's probably super hot, but she's protecting her identity for all you creepers. Like me.
Look,
so
super average, but protecting myself because there are still creepers, yeah.
That's very true, actually.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've been stalked several times and I'm extremely average. Like,
what the hell? Mm-hmm. On virtual?
In real life.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It doesn't help because I'm already very private and don't want to show my face as is. So it's more of an excuse for me not to do that.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I generally
okay. Shit happens.
Yeah.
Oops. Don't know if I can swear.
Danielle, are you fucking anyway? Apparently you haven't watched this show before. Okay. You did no prep.
Actually, I do remember the profanity warning.
Yeah. Come on, Danielle. Okay. But to be a little bit more serious, I do. Voice is amazing, personally. Comma, I do remember our prep call, and I think it was one of those things where I think you really helped. I think it was cool talking with you because, and we'll get into this with OP, is like you genuinely like induced a sleep processing state for me. That was nice because you didn't really say anything.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. I tend to do that to people I notice, especially, people with demon sleep, even savior sleep. It's a thing.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. I'm already in an awkward state because I've been trying to do FI all day.
Oh,
It's so hard. So that's why I'm being awkward. So I apologize for being defensive. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna try and practice some FI stacking, some sleep processing. Danielle's the master at it, apparently. So we're gonna talk to her a little bit about it and see how we can do this. At some point, this is gonna probably turn into a therapy session, as it always does. Because I don't have insurance like that, so I need as much therapy as I can get. Mm-hmm. However, if you guys have questions, we're gonna break off between the 55 and hour mark. So I would just recommend, if you have questions for her, start stacking them, okay? And then we're gonna go through the SI and just pick your questions out, okay? All right. So with that being said, and apparently the stream image is very bad. You're gonna have to get over it. My internet. Okay, so let's start with OP.
Yeah.
You being savior sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. What the hell is that?
Several things.
Okay.
I think look, I know there are demon sleep people who do have a keen awareness of who they are, but I think having savior sleep makes it like much more likely, right? Because I'm very aware of myself. I'm very aware of the things I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what I want, and I respect that. So it's a lot of processing, conscious, unconscious processing. And I also have Demon Blast, so I'm not the best at talking about it.
Well, so I'll help you along here because it's always fascinating to hear what your perspective on this. So when you say conscious and unconscious processing, can you what is that like for you?
It really does feel like defragmentation, like on a computer. You know how like you open up your defrag, blah 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 blah. It's running along in the background. I'm just accidentally processing things. You know, it's happening in the moment. It feels like something happens. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna process it. Don't have to be doing it. I can be watching a TV show and processing at the same time. You know, that's why it feels unconscious in that way, because I'm working these things out in my brain, like what happened, what's going to happen, projecting future things to prepare myself because I know why. But conscious, when I have a problem that I need to solve, you know, just lie down on my bed, think it through. That is the conscious part. You can do either one. It's happening all the time, but sometimes I need to sit down and consciously do it as well. And it seems like a lot of demon sleep people are mostly consciously sleep processing, not unconsciously sleep processing.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you have to sit down and do it because it's not, your brain isn't triggered to do it on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite literally because we're almost opposite. So it's like for me, it's because when I'm engaged in the world, it's like my brain is so hyper aware of what's going on, right? Or at least trying to be. So that's like, it's like I'm constantly monitoring people. I'm constantly monitoring what I need to do outside, right? So it's like my focus is just outside. So it's like this notion of processing in the background. It almost feels fake. Like I know what people do it,
right?
But it's like it to me. I'm like, how would you have the mental bandwidth for that? You know?
Right. Yeah. So I know what you're talking about because when, you know, just say you're at a party, I understand that in the moment thing, but it very quickly drains me. And And it really feels like my focus is sort of, it's inwards. It's a weird mixture when you're high sleep. It's like I'm trying to be very, very in the moment, but my brain keeps like wanting to pull me back in to like these foggy sort of thoughts.
Yeah.
Feels like a trance. Like often just feels like a trance. Yeah.
Okay, so this actually leads me. So I need one TE block for you to help me clarify this, because it's going to lead to the bulk of the conversation, which is FI, right? As you've been in the Facebook groups, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out as well. Is like,
yeah,
I think you actually don't agree with a lot of what I've been saying in there, in terms of like emotional identities and stuff like that. So like, I just want to see like where I'm going with this is, what is FI to you? How is this connecting to sleep processing? Like, how are you sleep processing using FIs, basically?
It's a good question. I think it's mostly my SI and my FI obviously are tied in my sleep, so it really just, it feels a lot like nostalgia, right? So you think back on something in your past that you have a sensory attachment to. I have feelings, my FI, my stack feelings like attached to that as well. And so it's like, I sort of see that as, in a way, as a block in itself. Just that sensory attachment with that feeling is like one block, right?
Okay.
And so I can take that block and pick up another block from my childhood and another one, stack them together, and that can build something. And that's, I think, what my SI-FI is doing a lot, which is how I build my characters, how I build the world and stuff. I'm taking these little nuggets of SI-FI and sort of building them into something bigger. That's how I think it's stacked in that way.
Okay,
It's something that reminds me something, that reminds me something, that reminds me of something, and it's just following back.
And you're somehow connecting those things.
Yeah. I guess it's, it can be through sensory. These things look similar in sensory, or these things feel similar. Like I felt really good that day. I had this sort of, this image of, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
When I went to like Blockbuster as a kid or something, and there were like all these horror cardboard cutouts, and they scared me, right? But because I got scared, I had an emotional reaction to this sensory thing. Now that's in my SIFI, and I can use that image with another one and sort of create an idea, if you get that. So I can put that image, that feeling of a horror cardboard cutout, and I can mix it with, say, a dream I had about a graveyard, right. And I can put those things together with another thing, and I can slowly build an idea.
So for me, it's like, right. I guess I'm just processing, like, why would you want to do that?
Just because it's exciting for my brain, I guess. What are our reasons? What are our reasons for our saviors?
Right, that's true.
It chemically makes me feel good. It reminds me of things in my past. It's just hitting my saviors over and over and over, and I'm making new things out of it, and that's hitting my saviors again in my consume. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the type of shit that makes me not want to do sleep processing, because I'm like this.
Look, I'm so sorry. It's really, that kind of thing is not that important, but it is the way I use mine. So yours should be tracking sensory experiences, I would think. So you're not rediscovering the same shit and not applying certain things to your life. Like your SIFI might be something completely different. What are you leaving voids in? There it is. You know?
What am I leaving voids in? I'd have to write an essay.
That's all you have to ask, you know?
So it's interesting because it's like I forgot I think you're double feminine if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I'm audio, so what that means is that yes, you have feminine SI, and then I have masculine SI, and like my sleep is double masculine.
Gotcha.
And I feel like I've romanticized double masculine sleep, if I'm being completely honest with you, just because it sounds cool. I just don't know what they're doing. Like specifically SIFI double masculine, and like the people who I've talked to who are like who have NIFI double masculine scares me. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna keep it 100% real with you. They've helped me a lot emotionally, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I might go crazy if I do this all day.
Double masculine sleep in general is scary for me. I
Yeah.
think it's so solid it can't be, it can't be moved.
Right. So okay. So, but you have masculine FI. So maybe this is how I can start triangulating with you here. So okay,
Okay.
you're building these visuals. To be fair, because you're double
Mm-hmm.
feminine, so you're building these visuals where you start with an emotional sensory thing from the. Is it always the past though?
Most often, yeah. Not you look. I think it's not always like if I see something that I think is like really, But the thing is, when I see something that's like visually beautiful, usually I find it beautiful because it reminds me of something I've already experienced.
Uh-huh.
Most often, I rarely find something that feels new and beautiful.
Yeah.
I like it because I know it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm somewhat aware of that. Yeah. I just disrespect this process. Wow. It feels like such a like. I'm trying to say this with the greatest respect because I like hearing
Hey,
when you talk about Danielle.
just go for it. Just go for it.
This feels like a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. It is. It really is. It's like the most point that sleep has is tracking sensory experiences, so you don't make the same mistakes. Right? Not the way I do most of mine. It really is a waste of time. It's bullshit. It doesn't get me anywhere in life. But yeah, but the best thing is just tracking your experiences so you're not making the same mistakes. Doing it in balance with new experiences.
Right.
And we're coming from opposite ends and not doing the other one enough.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't because I'm sleep last. So I've probably had this conversation 5 times. I could have sleep processed those conversations.
Yeah.
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 But instead, I chose to do an interview.
That's old info, You just learn. It's like, why would I want to go over that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So let me do this. I'm going to go through the notes just to hit some of the highlights that I think would be meaningful to share. So the first thing, this is actually was something I should have mentioned in the first impression. I love talking with you, genuinely, legitimately.
Thanks.
And I think, and one of the things I'm noticing is that talking with you, what I'm realizing is that you remind me of everyone who has lead sleep, right?
Right. Yeah.
Just the conversation style of it, right? In the sense of every time I talk with you or anyone with lead sleep, it's always about revisiting, like replaying, whether it's the day, the week, your childhood.
Right.
It's always like a deep dive into whatever is going on, as opposed to,
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. Is that is that the vast majority of conversations you end up having?
I suppose so. Depends on who the other person is as well. Honestly, though, like revisiting stuff, it is also like exhausting for me. Like I don't, as much as I live with old information, it's also incredibly boring at times. Like I don't want to open up this freaking old thing, like, and go over the same information. Like, I guess because my brain also has the consume. I want new as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is very boring to go over the same shit. Like that's why it's personal. I'll just keep it to myself. If I'm including other people in it, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Probably blasting in that case. I'm SI blasting, which is a demon. So yeah.
I mean, does it feel like almost intrusive when people try and revisit things with you, or
what do you mean?
like in this? So in the sense of like, because your saviors are inner world stuff, right? Introverted, right? So it's like when you're in a conversation, it's like, do you feel like sometimes when people ask you things about whether it's the sensory, like your experience or like your emotions, do you feel almost like you need to push them away, where it's like you're not going to understand this inner world? Does that make sense?
No.
No.
No, not really. I just don't like talking about it because it's exhausting to talk about. I don't feel like intrude upon because it's like, I don't know. I know there's no one actually in that world with me, so yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you feel like that?
Would I feel like intrusive?
Yeah.
I think I get defensive, right? Like,
Right.
and that's something I'm trying to let go of. As like, so as you saw at the beginning of this episode, I awkwardly like, because this is like I'm trying to have an FI conversation, but I was like throwing these like, I was throwing like these flares. Like that's something I've noticed. Like, or not flares. Like I'll throw like these like awkward punches so that people will just feel awkward, so they can just get off me.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Guys, that's what I do. It's like I'm gonna do this awkward thing here so you could just leave me alone. Like,
that makes a lot of sense. Wow.
You know, so it's hard because it's like FI is just like it's just hard for me to express in like a pure state. So yeah, I think whenever, so to answer your question more precisely, when people start asking me about my inner world and I'm not like, even if I want to share it with them, I might hit them with these preemptive, like, get away from me. Like it's pure self-defense.
So it doesn't matter if someone's coming from a good place or if they're coming from,
no,
it's just always the same.
It's the same, just because I'm so uncomfortable with FI right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sucks, right? Yeah. But this brings me to my next point, which is when people talk to you, it's like you force them to sleep process because you don't fucking say anything. In fact, it's like you're interviewing me right now. I see your freaking chats, guys.
Yeah. I think I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about myself at all, really. I don't know. I just find it incredibly boring. Like I've sleep processed everything here, so to talk about it, it's just like, ugh. Yeah. It's boring. Like there's nothing new in the conversation.
Yeah.
Well, there is, but I'm just ignoring it because I'm self-above drive. So it's just like I would rather like know about you and how you work.
Well, that's true, but I mean, one thing you mentioned is that you hate block banging, though. So what's the difference between getting to know something new about a person and block banging? If there's what is that?
Because like I'm demon play, right? So it's like you give me your report, I'll listen to it, I'll think it over, and then I'll ask you some questions. But it's not like I'm really super involved in the process. It's not like a throwing the ball back and forth, high energy sort of thing. It doesn't feel like block banging because I guess because I feel like I'm taking in the information, I'm sort of mulling it over a little bit, working it into my OI. But I'm not like doing that process with you exactly. It's more like you're giving me the information, I'm thinking about it, and then later on I'm asking questions, not like, it's not collaborative. It doesn't feel collaborative.
Right, it's like consume, actually. I'm hearing it.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're doing it for your own amusement, right?
Yeah, because I want to know the information. It's not to,
Which is kind of nice, though. Like, in an odd way, at least for me, it's like in an odd way that is something people, at least in the tribe, tend to appreciate, because like it's very rare that people actually listen to what you're saying.
Right, that's true. It does feel. I can see where I'm leaving the voids and not talking as well, though. I think it's very awkward for people to talk to me because of that at times. Yeah, and I'm sorry for that. I'm trying.
I have not felt that personally. Like, I tease you, but I just genuinely have not. So
Oh, okay.
that's their problem, you know. Okay, so let me see. Oh, okay. So the next major point here about sleep processing with FI, right? Or SIFI.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the notes that I took, I think is a hot take.
Right.
Okay, you ready for your own hot take? I'm gonna blast back.
Yeah.
You mentioned that sleep SIFI processing is not necessarily the real world. Do you remember
Oh
that?
yeah. Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you like
Yeah.
elaborate
Sure.
on that?
Um. Well, I just think it's. I don't know. It's sort of like looking through foggy glass. Like I feel like SE people, when they're looking outside, they're seeing objective reality, right? SI people, in my opinion, at least from where I'm coming from, it's not objective. It's filtered through something. It's filtered through what I've experienced before, my feelings, what it reminds me of. You know, I can remember something like completely wrong just because of what I attached it to. You know, I've attached this sensory to this other sensory thing and just completely forgotten what the objective sensory thing was. So I think when I'm thinking back, when I'm actually processing, it's not exactly real. It's not objective. It's my own interpretation of that thing.
Yeah, I think the analogy that I used for this, um, correct me if you don't relate to this, but like, is the WandaVision hex?
The what?
What? You haven't seen WandaVision?
No, I haven't. Not yet. Oh, wait, don't spoil it.
What
Wait,
do
okay,
you
it's okay. It's
mean?
okay.
All
Wait,
right,
what's it on? What's it streaming on?
Danielle, go consume. Okay, there's this website called Google. Okay,
Wait, what's that?
all right. When you find out how to get there, so WandaVision, there's
Yeah.
this whole notion of a hex. So think about like it's like a protective bubble where it's like she has her own world inside that bubble, right? Like
Okay.
magic, it's all this fun shit. But like
Yeah.
that's how I'm thinking about SI at this present time,
Sure.
where
Sure.
it's like you block out the outside world because you don't even want to see it. You want it to be organized according to your subjective past. So
Totally.
in this case, the show is predicated around her like recreating like these TV shows from her childhood, like
Oh,
sitcoms
that's so cool.
from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, and like it goes by decade
Oh, I love it.
episode. Yeah, I think you'd like it actually.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's my analogy for like SI.
Yeah,
Where it's
that
like
sounds right.
you're creating your own world. What's interesting though, and like this is the part that I think is a hot take, is you mentioned that you can organize sensory experiences even if it doesn't yet exist. So you were talking about like your fiction, for example.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Um, I forget what I said exactly.
It's just like how you create your stories, because I think you counted that as SI in a way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, it's just taking known sensory and making it to something new, you know? Um, I mean, I feel like I think look, I think my NE is definitely in there as well. I do have a tendency to kind of mix them up and put them together because they're so close with my slip consume. Yes, but it's just creating own sensory out of known sensory as well. So taking a couple of sensory nuggets and putting them together and then make something new. Like I think I described like once just say I have a favorite blanket or something, and then I'm like, well, I love stars. I'll put stars on the blanket and use that in a story. And then, that starry blanket becomes another little nugget. And that's my own created sensory out of known sensory.
Right.
Yeah, I think there is NE in there as well. So
No, it's just fine. I think it just explains the dynamic between the two probably more than anything else, right? So
yeah.
one thing you mentioned about SI specifically though is whether it's your fiction or your like the actual things you're organizing in your real life. There was this quote where you said the real world feels dead, so I need to make it what I want in order
my
to
own.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. The real world just feels cold. Like hate it. That's why I have. It's part of the reason I have agoraphobia. Just going out in the world, it feels like I'm stepping into someone else's world. It's like, this is not my stuff. This is not my sensory. This is not my thing. And so it's very hard to live in someone else's world for a long period of time, and then I have to go back to my AJ box, and it's me again. You know?
Yeah. So
it feels like a hospital. It feels like going into a hospital. You know how they feel? Very cold and scary. That's how I feel about hospitals.
So SI is creating its own world, and it feels like, because the outside world feels hostile. It almost sounds like.
Absolutely, it feels hostile. Yeah, I spoke with Rose about this too. She felt the same way. Like it feels hostile. Very hostile. You know, it always has for me ever since I was a little kid. You know, it's both that it's not my sensory and it's chaotic. You know. Yeah.
Wow. I'm nodding in like, but it's like I have not created that world for myself at all.
Right.
Nice. Like it feels immature. It feels childish to me subjectively.
Yeah.
But because of that, it's like I'm being hit by that hostile world at all times, and there's no home for me to return to. So it's like it's the opposite of the WandaVision problem. Actually, it's very much like the Thor problem. I'm totally doing any right now.
Yeah.
But like in Thor, it's like he gets cast out of his home.
Okay.
Right now, I don't know what his type is. I'm sure he's actually probably SE in the story, but whatever. But like for the point I'm trying to make is like that's how my play feels like. Like if I'm contextualizing it with what you're saying, it's like I'm cast out, and I'm having all these adventures everywhere else.
Yeah.
But like I'm not at my home, right?
It's kind of like the Alice in Wonderland thing.
That as well, yeah.
That scares me. It makes me really sad, actually.
Yeah.
Because home is just obviously very important to me. My IJ box, home, that whole thing. It's very sad to think about people like not having home.
Yeah.
But it does make sense. Like a lot of the NE leads and saviors I know, like they move a lot. They move houses a lot, you know? Yeah. It's like growing up, like we moved every single year. I went to like 9 or 10 different schools, you know?
Yeah.
And because my mum is like NE savior, and I guess she just wanted new experience and didn't like feel like there was a home there, which I can understand to some degree, but it's very sad.
Yeah. Well, here's my fucking FI. But my stake in the ground is I'm not crying on my fucking show, guys. Okay? You're not gonna see that. Now, one thing you said actually along this lines of just SI feeling like the external world is hostile is, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned people who are on the SE-NI axis almost kind of haze you. That's what basically what you said. You're like, they basically like peer pressure you, like, or respect your process. Like, can you talk about that?
It's
you got to start from down, Danielle.
No, it's I don't remember the context of that. So it's hard to know.
So what I wrote down was, so the specific what I wrote down is SE-NI users seem to shame SI sleep for not being real. Right? So there's like, because SE specifically seems to want things to be real.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So anytime you share your SI sleep, they kind of criticize it for not being real. I think that was the conversation.
That definitely happens. It's mostly just like, you know, it causes some fights. It causes, like with my brother, he's lead SE. We definitely have a lot of fights over his SE and my SI. He kind of accuses me of lying a lot about things because I'm not seeing it, I'm not remembering it objectively the way, you know, feminine SI. so he'll like go and pull up the proof, and I'll be like arguing my side, and then I'll realize, oh shit, you know, I was accidentally lying because I just remembered it so differently. Because you know, I think that's just feminine censor in general as well, though. But yeah, I think sort of a lot of SE people see it as lying or not being truthful when you know, it's not deliberate, it's like an accident. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the main issues I have, I think.
Do you get any pushback from people with Savior NI by chance?
You know what, I don't really interact with many people who have Savior NI, so
What?
no, I mean, you know what, I actually when it went through my friends to see what the common patterns are in their types, pretty much I have like 9 very close friends, I think, and they're all EPs or IPs, like with OE. So it's like, you know what, I don't know.
You are missing out. They are so fascinating.
I just don't find I click with OIs generally as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I really don't. Yeah, like I like them a lot, but
Yeah,
I just don't naturally make friends with OA people, I think.
interesting. Okay. Well, I guess that answers that.
Sorry.
That's fine. So let's do a compare and contrast real quick, okay?
Sure. What's that? Just kidding.
You almost stressed me. I
don't know, but wait, I don't know.
I was about to come at your life. I'm like, come on now. All right. So my understanding is, okay, so I'm Savior Play, Sleep Last. You're Savior Sleep, Play Last. We both have Savior Consume, so that kind of complicates things a little bit.
Yeah.
And then also you have Feminine Sensory and I have Masculine Sensory. But I mean, the biggest contrast is going to be the Savior, like double activated Play versus the double activated Sleep.
Yeah.
So then I think we should start there, and then we'll just kind of like talk through like the major contrast based on our experience with each other. Like, let's not do this fake shit. I'm fucking over it. I really am. I hate when people do that. Like,
fuck fake. Yeah, fuck
it's just so fake.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is me ranting, guys.
Look, I'm pretty fake in general. So.
I also am fake.
Okay? Femininity.
I'm also fake, as we know, comma. But don't talk about shit you don't know about. Yeah. You know, like, if you don't, come on. Anyway. Now, with that being said, let's first start with the double activated Play versus the double activated Sleep. Like, when we interact with each other, like, what's the biggest thing you're noticing? Let's start with that.
Energy. Like you're high energy. I mean, you're very extroverted energy. That's just very and NT. Very, very NT.
What does that mean?
Very like you know, just NT.
No, I don't.
Like, you know, you just
I'm
like
gonna peacock
thinking about the world, thinking about how stuff works, the possibilities. Yeah, I mean, I'm not triggered by your NT, but I am sensitive to NT in general because I have it last. And because I have SI bad experiences with NT generally, I found. Yeah. I accidentally discovered that.
I think you told me about that, because NT, like, first of all, NT wastes a lot of people's time. Let's be real.
Yeah. True.
Real. All those philosophy arguments you guys had in college where you thought you were the smartest one, but if I go on Reddit, I'm gonna read the exact same conversation. I know you know who you are. Talking about Nietzsche as if this is the first time anyone's ever heard of the guy. Guys.
Wait, who's that? Just kidding.
See, Danielle, don't even fucking play that shit. See? Don't do that to her. But yeah, those are gonna be some examples. I feel you. It's so why so but mine's not triggering yours as much. Like, what do you think is going on with that?
Maybe because you have Savior Consume, you actually will ask questions and listen to people. I think it's the blaster thing that gets me.
Oh, like Antiblast or just blast?
Yeah, well, Antiblast, but yeah, Antiblast. I feel like it's just a lot of talking at people, not listening, and talking at people about bullshit, not listening. You know, like really. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Like Antiblast
I
triggers
know.
the shit out of me.
I'm trying to think who's Antiblast. No, really?
Yeah, big time, big time, big time.
Wow. Is this like, and we say bullshit is like, what, just because it's abstract or?
Yeah, it's abstract. It's fake.
Ah, I see.
Look, I mean, I get where there's value there.
You're such
But
a
it
liar.
is
I heard it.
no, I get where there's value there.
Okay.
Like yeah, I do. But at the same time, it's like I need some sensory there. I need a little bit
How do you feel about NF Blast then?
fake.
Also fake, but do
It
you like
feels
it
it
more?
feels fake. Yeah, I like it way more. Yeah, for
Like it
sure.
way more. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not that triggered by NF Blast. I can be sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's mostly the Anti-Blast thing.
Okay, really good. So I'm gonna say one more thing, and this is based on our notes. And I thought this was actually a really meaningful insight that I'm gonna give you credit for because that's DE. Wait, that's a DE way.
Sure.
So one thing we realized while talking with each other is play, like the voids each animal's leaving.
Yeah.
So play seems to be filling the void of social momentum, and that's kind of what you were talking about with the energy, right?
Yeah.
It's like if there's a lull, like so for example, if this goes quiet, I'm the one who's like pushing it forward. I think also
Yes, absolutely.
is another good
Ikram,
Ikram.
definitely.
I'm wrong. Ikram.
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 Well, sometimes she doesn't put the other A in there, so
No. It's you gotta roll the R.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
No, I asked her. She likes it. Trust me.
I believe you.
She will not message you angry messages saying to stop. Trust me. Okay. So Ikram also does this. Where it's like if there's any lull in the conversation, she is like
She feels it.
yeah, it's a compulsion. It's a
Yeah.
compulsion.
I rely on that. Absolutely rely on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise everything's gonna like
It's gonna just drop and die.
Yeah.
Which I'm very happy to to let happen.
Yeah.
No, it is stressful actually because I'm like, I should say something, but what do I say?
Yeah.
Everything,
Now, one thing you mentioned though, which was the contrast, is that sleep seems to fill the void of emotional processing. I think is how you worded it, right?
Yeah. Mine does anyway. Yeah. Like I tend to sort of put people in that state, like, hey, let's process together,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why a lot of people with demon sleep tend to talk to me because of that. It's like they come to me when they need to process,
right?
Because I do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's actually a really good example when we did our prep call. It's like much like the sleep last way, I said something that I knew I needed to process that I wanted to push away fast.
Yeah.
But then you locked onto it like, well, no, Reggie, like, what's going on with that?
Let's talk about it. Yeah. Because it feels like, you're bringing something up and saying, I don't want to talk about this, but just like, well, why'd you bring it up? Because
exactly.
Your brain knows you need to process this. It just doesn't want to at the time. And I'm like, well, let me play therapist. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like playing therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah. I mean, it's very awkward because I'm FI. I don't often know what to say. But yeah, it's generally the role I've accidentally put myself in pretty much my whole life, and then complained later that everyone treats me like I'm the therapist, but it's like I'm the one doing that, not realizing it. Yeah.
That's so funny. I think the one last contrast, and then I'm actually going to open up to Q&A early, probably.
Yeah, sure.
Was the TE versus the FI.
Sure.
So, because you got triggered as fuck with TE. I was like, okay, the fuck? I took notes. I did my SI notes.
I don't remember.
You were like, fuck TE. I think you said that verbatim. I think you said that verbatim. Yeah.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
About right.
Yeah. Fuck TE. I hate it. So
fuck doing TE. I do see where it's useful for sure.
Okay.
But fuck doing it.
Yeah, and it's funny because like so TE, I think based on that conversation you were mentioning that TE is about getting suggestions from others, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Getting the blocks from others and feeling the need to take all of them into account. Right?
Yeah.
And because that leads to compromising.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think that was what you were saying, fuck that too, I think.
I think it was the way that you described it. Like, that's the responsibility to do that for everybody, which you were talking about. And it's like, no, fuck what everybody thinks. Like, I understand, like, you got to gather that to some extent a little bit, right? But then being bombarded with it and not knowing where to settle, fuck that. Yeah. I do. Obviously, I do that to some small extent, but ultimately, either I know what I want anyway, or I come to a decision on my own, and it doesn't harass me. The tea doesn't harass me. Yeah, but does for you?
It tortures me, TE.
Yeah.
I can't turn it off. Like I think that actually may be closer to what David and Shane talk about with the inner monologue. It's not like I have arguments in my head. That's just who has time for that? I'm sorry. That sounds exhausting.
That's sleep.
Yeah. I was like, why?
Sleep is just play on the inside.
Oh, so you're doing that?
Yeah.
You're having arguments in the inside?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking to a fake therapist all the time and shit like that.
Oh my God. Wait, no, tell me about that.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm always having conversations with fake people in my head. That is a lot of sleep processing, actually, pretending that you're talking to somebody that you're not talking to. Yeah, stuff you need to process.
I'm triggered.
I think a lot of sleep saviors relate to that. I've heard it a few times.
It sounds so strange to me. So you're having an entire conversation with someone fake?
Yeah. And often repeating it to make it sound better. It's like, wait a minute, I got to get this perfect, this line.
Well, here's the thing. I know I've done this in the past for sure.
Yeah.
But like it's like it sounds like you're doing this regularly, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, regularly I am for sure. Like if I don't know, I'm just like, well, got to go to the toilet. Let me have a fake conversation. let me have fake conversations while I'm showering.
Oh my God!
All the time, there's always something fake going on in there.
So do you? I mean, have you spoken or seen like people who claim to have that inner monologue who are savior TE? Because that was the anecdote that I was tracking from David Shea.
Sorry, what did you say?
Okay, so let me reframe that. I apologize. So the current anecdote with inner monologue was TE, right? It's like they're arguing and blog banging in their head, and it sounds like you're
right.
Even though you're having this conversation, I guess you're not doing that, or are you doing that?
I'm not thinking about what other people are thinking, like what all of the tribe members are thinking.
Okay,
no.
So what's the conversation then?
Like often about self, like explaining certain things as if I'm talking to a therapist, like, oh, this is what happened. There's a lot of that, of what happened, my point of view, and maybe double deciding and guessing their point of view. But I don't think it's the same thing as what savior T's do, which is like, I know that they just have an awareness of what everyone's probably thinking all the time. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. What the hell? That's wild. Okay,
it's very self-focused. Definitely.
Yeah. I think the therapist is actually probably a good image for that, because it's like you're there to talk about yourself.
Yeah. And
okay.
You're not focused on that. You're focused
not
on
at all. Others. I am focused on everyone else's fucking business.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, guys.
Yeah,
being nosy is exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All All right, so guys, let's do Q&A because this melatonin's about to hit.
Nice.
So we're on the clock. I don't want to go to sleep in the middle of a live stream. So, guys, Danielle is a cool person. This is your chance to ask her questions before she becomes the Facebook troll again. Here's your chance. Okay. So, let me look at these. Hi, guys. Hi. I'm seeing a lot of cool people. Oh, there's some new people.
Sweet.
All right. Hi. Welcome, guys. All right.
Hello.
This is not a question, but this is definitely any, which I appreciate. Apparently, you should have come on camera and acted like you were on Dateline. You were like a hostage.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been so funny. We should have done that.
I love it.
God damn it. All right, let me see here. Okay, here's a question. From Liza. Okay.
Oh my god. Lisa, yeah.
No, Liza.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What is your relationship with Demon Blast like in comparison to your relationship with Demon Play?
Man. Oh man, and you know what? It's really hard to tell what's what because they're both big demons for me. I do think there is a clear difference between Blast above Play as a demon and Play above Blast though.
Okay.
I definitely have more of that like let's get shit done energy. Like I don't want to just sit around and talk and like it's like we need to get something done. Like can we just start something? I don't want to be piss farting around forever. Whereas a lot of blasters are okay to just chat and not actually get anything started.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that's what Lisa was asking, but that's where I went with it.
You mean Liza?
Liza Garcia.
There you go. I'm gonna like. She's gonna have an NI tidal wave. I swear to God. She's gonna be like
Lisa Minnelli.
She's like, Reggie, how dare you? Everyone's starting to call me this. How did that happen?
Everyone fucks up her name. I think that's why it's like, yeah. Like everyone fucks it up. So that's why I'm always like, no, it's Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa, you can blame it on me if people like. I'll take the TE blame. Next, let's see. There was another one. Okay, here we go. What's been your impression of others with SI-FI Savior?
Depends on the person. You know what, it's I think my brain is automatically looking to relate to them because it's like, well, we're the same. We should be, we should be the same people. I haven't super related to anybody who's SI-FI so far except Ryan Gosling, but even then, he's much weirder than I am. Well, he's much more NE than I am.
That is interestingly true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an INFP, right?
Yes. He's got them very balanced.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense because I think the grant stack seems to matter. So it's like he has any.
It does.
Higher.
It really does matter, I think.
Yeah.
I used to shit on it, but I'm seeing how it's true. I like them for the most part. I either think they're really boring or I like them. I mean, I don't find myself naturally more drawn to other SI-FI people than other people,
Mm-hmm. Really good. Next is Melanie. Hi, Melanie. Reggie,
hi, Melanie.
Lucha
Libre.
Did I say Lucha, Danielle?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
No, probably not.
Probably.
If you don't think so.
I don't know. I have deep sensory. Probably. I don't know.
And mine's feminine, so it's like good luck.
Yeah, don't judge me. All right. Next is from come on, Danielle. You gotta have some decorum. Have some respect for yourself. No pants out here. That's how you do. That's not OnlyFans. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
This is not OnlyFans.
Yeah, you cut that. I was waiting for you to catch it.
Yeah, I'm a bit slow.
I was waiting for you to catch it. All right. All right. So connecting SI. So question from Casty. Connecting SI and FI. If FI is who you are / want to be, then is SI the steps as to how to get to that desired version of yourself? Yeah. Or the steps to maintain calibration of the self?
Yes, both can be. it's not really where I focus a lot of my attention on. But yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of where do I want to be, or I guess it's who I want to be in a way. Kind of feels a bit weird to say that, but and then how am I going to get there? Feminine SI is sort of like, okay, I've made a plan. And then 20 minutes later, it's like, what plan? Okay, I'll make another plan. What plan? Like, it's plans are fleeting. They're coming and going. They're not real, but they are at the same time. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Really good. And I think Cassidy, if this is the Cassidy I'm thinking of, I think Cassidy has these functions.
I think Cassidy's masculine SI. I could be wrong.
Well, yeah, but I mean, SI is SI, right?
Yes and no. I feel like there is a big difference.
Oh, what would that difference be?
I guess because my SI is like feminine, like double activated feminine at the top, it feels so different to masculine SI. I do actually struggle to understand masculine SI sometimes. I don't understand that whole solid thing. I'm not gonna like, yeah, the NE feels more real than the SI sometimes. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. This actually is a good transition point because someone's actually asking about that. So Bob, hi, is asking about how you relate to your tester modality, which I think
how do I experience it? It's being, I think a lot of it is like the femininity, actually. It's like, well, being very forgetful, being very like seemingly submissive, I guess. People treat you in that way. Like the amount of times I've had people say, oh, good girl, or, you know, like stuff like that. Like I'm a child. I am treated a lot like a child. Yeah. But mostly that. I mean, being double feminine gets me in a lot of trouble, and other people when my masculine FI comes out and they see who I really am.
I mean, but like, wouldn't they see that fast though? If you're like save your FI?
No, because I'm very fake to people when I first meet them. Yeah,
What?
pretty much very fake for the most part. In the group, I've been like actively trying to be more myself. So I think I do come across obviously quite masculine FI to a lot of people in the group, but in real life, it's like very submissive. And then a lot of like fuck you when when I'm at the end of my rope.
I've seen that, guys. It is a spectacle.
Nice.
It is. It is. I don't even know what else to say. Okay. With that being said, let's move to the next question. So Lisa asks, will you please defend the pronunciation of my name until the end of time, until Reggie's FI gets on board? So yeah, it's Lisa, right?
Thanks, Lisa, for your comment.
You said what?
Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome, Lisa. Yeah. There you go. There you go. So yeah, I'm actually, my masculine FI is doubling down on Lisa now.
Oh my god.
Don't control me, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just don't. Melanie, I did not know that. Thank you. Okay, appreciate you clarifying the censor. Okay, this was back to the Lucha joke, apparently.
Okay.
Like, yeah, but you know she's nice, so to be nice to her. Next is Mia Goosh. Anyway, if you're stressed or something about how many SI/FI things do you stack before the stress goes away?
If I'm stressed, when I'm stressed, I like run to my consume. I think more so. Well, yeah. I mean, I go back to my box. I start watching TV shows. Stress goes away.
Yeah.
I don't really understand that question. I'll probably have to think about that.
So I think I'm seeing what he's asking.
Right. Okay.
You just have to reframe it a little bit. Like if you're stressed about, like, so let's say clutter. Like let's say there's a lot of sensory things.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Or like let's say a lot of problems. Like let's say there's like a bunch of shit hitting you. Like, are you stacking and organizing before that stress goes away? I guess that's what he's asking. Hopefully that's what he's asking. So it's like what? So really, it's like what do you do under situations of overwhelm?
Okay. See, it's the whole stacking with stress thing. It's like it's not real. I'm not stacking under stress. I'm stacking in like when I'm calm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm running to my stack, but I'm not actually stacking.
Oh yeah, you're not stacking on the spot.
No.
Got it. Got it. So it's like, yeah, you're stacking. Yeah, oh, interesting. So yeah, you're creating your home world in peacetime.
Yes.
Got it. So then when something bad happens, you can run home.
I can run home. Exactly. Exactly. And just live in that. Yeah, I think that's why I was a bit confused with that question.
Yeah. No. So that's okay. Interesting. So so you're not stacking under stress. That's actually good to know because
whereas I'd be demon away probably.
No, well, maybe, but like I think in OP that would have been the assumption with SI. It's like, oh well, you're just stacking all the time, but maybe not.
No, it doesn't feel like that. Yeah, that's true.
That's good. Okay. And I think he had a.
You can message me if you need to know more.
There you go. Send her an email.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I mean it. Yeah.
Liza, how quickly do you move on from tidal waves with lead sleep?
I think my longest was probably like 5 days. That was very hard. That was like a very hard one. Usually, like I process most of the stuff within the first day or two. So yeah, usually a day or two. Depends on if the problem's ongoing or not. If it's like something that's going to be hitting me over a couple of days or a week or whatever. Yeah, I do just process as quickly as possible.
Wow. And like you're just processing what? Like just what went wrong? Like what?
Yeah, like what's happening, what I'm going to do, making a plan if I need to, not following the plan, but yeah, just like thinking about it until it's dead, and then I'm like over it. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm so sick of thinking about this. Done. Ding, the cookies are ready. Yeah.
Okay, really good. I don't see any more questions, guys. So let's do this, Danielle. I know you're demon play, so let me, I'm gonna do my blast. Please at least be courteous and stay for the blast, but then definitely let you go after that. So guys, and yes, my name is pronounced like Reagan. That's actually how you pronounce it, guys. Actually, I'm not joking. I am joking.
Reginald.
Yeah, I'm joking. So guys, first of all, Danielle has she has her own YouTube channel. First of all, Skip and Mope. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of that. Go check that out. Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't talk much on there.
But it's awesome.
It is still awesome. So I would say definitely check out the YouTube channel. She's also in the Facebook trolling. Okay. So go check out her comments, I guess. That's
censored.
Yeah, that's her claim to fame. Just her comments saying, Reggie, you're fucking dumb. Yeah. You thought I wasn't paying attention to your shit.
What?
I'm on to you. Okay.
All right.
Next. Okay. Guys, especially in the Facebook groups, don't make me disrespect you on Super Smash Brothers. Y'all can still catch hands. Yeah. That's my home territory. Shirtless Sephiroth. Okay. My phone code is in my about page. Okay. There's a Facebook chat where people aren't really engaged, really. But if you want to come join and spice things up, come join us. And so you can see your booty whooped. Right? Live. All right. Next. This is important. Come pay me. Okay? I have a Snug account. Okay? Come pay me for talking to you about what I was probably going to talk to you about anyway.
That's
Jerry
true.
V, probably some other random OP stuff, probably some business stuff. I do work in sales, so if you guys want the little deets, come pay me. Okay.
Yeah, do that.
And also, if you're a content creator, sign up for Snug. It's free, right? And it's way more efficient than Zoom and all that other horseshit. You have a calendar and all that. Finally, my blast has been getting longer. Finally, okay, I'm super insecure about my subscriber count. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100% with real. I've turned off my subscriber count, so I actually don't even know how many subscribers I have, legitimately. So subscribe or not, but if you subscribe, you will get notifications as to who's coming next. I'm gonna have another episode on Friday or on Saturday. I also put clips out on Fridays and Sundays, like short little excerpts. So if you want to know when those are coming out, feel free to subscribe. I won't know, but you'll know. Okay. So that's, and then also leave a comment. I really appreciate you guys. That's my long, awkward blast. Thank you guys so much. Love all of you, especially people who asked some meaningful questions. Appreciate it. Danielle, really appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it's always fun talking with you. So I will see you all on the next one. Take care.